Right, so now that we've completed the site, let's deploy it. But before we deploy it, let's make sure everything works. So we need to make sure it builds, or it's npm run build actually. And this will basically build everything, get rid of all of the extra bits that we don't need, that we use for development, and find any errors that we need to fix. So let's go ahead and fix this. So it says here, there's one error, which is type product type is missing in the following, is basically missing something. So let's go in here and product is equal to product. Let me go into here, product of product type. So what's missing? We have ID, title, price, description, category, rating, image. Let me just copy this and let's go in product type, the type itself, and paste in what is missing. So we have ID of number, title is a string, we have the price, which is a number, description is a string, category, image, and then the rating. So what's essentially happening is the API isn't, on some cases, it's not returning the entire product object. It's missing some items. Right, so now that I've fixed the errors, what I want to do is run npm run build again. So now you can see it says here is generating static pages and so on, and then finalizing pages optimization. So everything is working correctly. So that means we can now deploy. So first of all, let's do our commit to our GitHub repository, and then that way we can then connect to Vercel and then deploy our application. So all I want to do is just say completed multi-brand build, something like that. It should be in more detail, but for this, I'm just going to keep it as that. And you should use something like Semver as well, but it's fine. All we want to do now is do git status, and there's nothing to commit. So let's just do git push. And then this will push all our changes to our GitHub repository. So everything is on the main branch. So let's go into our code over here and refresh the page. So now you can see completed multi-brand build over here. So now what we want to do is go into Vercel and refresh our homepage in here. So let's go in our projects, and in our projects we want to add new. This is our repo, this is our local host, and then in here we want to add a new project, and it's basically the one we just done now, which is multibrand-yt. So let me import this in. And we do need to configure environment variables. So let's go in our code, in our env file, copy this across, which is basically the next public brand. And this one is going to be style sphere. Put that in here like that and press add. So we've got that env file now. And then all you need to do now is just press deploy. So this will basically do what we did locally, just make sure there's no errors, anything like that, so that we can then deploy our application onto the web. And this will start now. And what will happen is this will create our first brand, which is Style Sphere. Right, so now you can see here, congratulations, your website is deployed. And because we passed in the env variable of Style Sphere, now that is what is getting rendered here. So let's click this. And you can see here, it says multibrand-yt.vercel.app. So basically this is Style Sphere. If you wanted to change the URL to a custom domain, then all you need to do is add an A record. It's quite simple on Vercel. You can do that as well. But what we want to do is continue to dashboard, because we've done one of the sites. All we need to do now is do another site. And I believe somewhere in here in the settings, you can change the A record if you have bought a current domain name. Let's go back in our dashboard and do the same thing again. So this time click the same repo again, the one code repository. So paste in the key, next public brand, and then this time it's Bowler's Boutique, and make sure you spell it correctly. So add that in and then deploy. And now you can see here that the second site is built, which is the Bowler's Boutique. So let's click on that one. And now you can see again, we've got the red background, we've got a different URL. So let's click login. You can see the relevant image is rendering for each different website. Again, the styling and everything is not the best, but again, you can customize it to what you would need for your site. But this is how you would essentially create a multi-brand site. So this is all based off the one repository that we have in here. We get access to the theme, and then we render out the relevant component. This is good because it's one code repository and it's managing everything in an efficient manner. You don't basically need different teams managing different code repositories. You've got the one repository, and then if you implement everything correctly, you add your unit tests in, you use TypeScript correctly, then this is a seamless process. So this is how you create basically a custom multi-brand website. And if you wanted to extend this further, then all you would need to do is essentially optimize your brand theme. So in here, you could add optional ones in here, extra brands as well that are reusing the same brand, and just change the colors up a little bit and optimize your code further. But other than that, that's how you would create a multi-brand website. And I'd recommend having this on a portfolio, because that this basically shows you how you work with server-side rendering and client-side rendering as well. More so server-side in this build, but it shows that you can work with a Next.js 14 framework, which handles all of the different SSR, site generation, and also client-side rendering. And also, along with, if you couple it with something like solid principles, then it shows that you have good core principles that you can then take into any sort of job or any environment that you work with going forward. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.